World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, that was great to the Wayne County Varsity baseball team into the regular season on a victory. You didn't know how they was going to bounce back after those two big games.
It was impressive this week. The Gators, Working's got a good baseball team, so we'll get that break.
The Gators.
Yeah, it was nice to win all three.
Slither on back down to Waycross. Get out of town.
It was Gator Hater Week. Shouldn't really say that during Easter Sunday. But it's in my blood. Gator Hater Week. It was fun to beat the Gators 3 in a row. So
that was.
Good pitching again. Just hats off to Rowan Blanton, Eli Grantham, Cade Lynn, and Tate Alton, the reliever. Again, Tate got 3 saves in a row, and they're starting pitching once again shined. Rowan Blanton on Monday, Eli Grantham on Tuesday, and Cade Lynn yesterday. So congrats to the Wayne County pitching staff.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. We got guests in here this morning. We got the mayor here.
The Screven mayor's running late, so we'll get this first topic in. The city of Jesup.
He's scared. Jason's scared.
We got Sam Shanklin, who's been coming to the city meetings. He's trying to become an Eagle Scout. Is that right?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm working on my Eagle Scout rank for Boy Scouting, and one of the biggest challenges to becoming that rank is completing a service project that's organized and led by the Eagle Scout candidate.
Right.
Yes,
and tell us about the project that you decided to undertake.
So over on Pine Street.
Okay, let's get back to that in a moment. Just tell us what troop you're involved with, who you're involved with, and your history with Scouts, and then we'll get started, because an Eagle Scout is a big thing.
Yes, sir. It's sort of the collection of everything in your youth leading up to it. It's the big thing everybody chases in scouting. So I started originally in Cub Scouts over in first grade when they sent recruiters over to elementary schools, and I was like, well, I was interested in it. And so I started doing it. And over time, I've had back and forth. I've had times where I was disinterested in it. I had times where I was more invested in it through leadership positions. And these past few years have really been when I've had to hone in and focus on it between all the extracurriculars and everything else I get involved in. And you really have to choose whether you're going to prioritize it or not. And I've seen scouts that have struggled with that and scouts that have left the troop just because they had so much going on academically that they didn't have the opportunity to continue to do it, and they didn't prioritize it. And we're over at Troop 450 in Jesup. Our Scoutmaster is Bob Nash. He's a Department of Defense worker as well, and he gives a lot of time to both the troop and the Cub Scout pack. He leads both, and his wife as well helps with the Girl Scouts. So they're a great involvement in the scouting community for Jesup.
And what school do you go to and what grade?
I'm in Wayne County High School. I'm a junior this year.
Okay. Well, now get to the project that you're going to be help lead up to becoming the top. Is it a certain badge or a certain title that you get to do a project like this?
The project itself is one of the requirements listed for our Eagle Scout rank. So for every rank in the back of our book, we have a list of requirements we're required to complete. And one of the things for some of the higher ranks is you have to have organized a project. And many of them aren't as strenuous or as difficult or as well planned as this one's supposed to be. But this is supposed to be the one where you put the most effort in it and the most time, and you have to keep track of everything. And it may not be bigger than the other projects, but it's certainly an emphasis on it being important to the community because there's several boards involving it. The first one, you have to complete a project proposal, some general information about everything so you know what you're doing. And then I go before a board of 3 people from the council over in Brunswick to get that approved, which I recently did 2 weeks ago. And then afterwards, once I complete this, I'll go before a project approval and final board to both approve my project and make sure everything went with the proposal and make sure it was good and well planned and well led, and affirm me for my Eagle Scout rank. And then I'll go through a board review for that separately.
Sounds good. All right. What's the project that you're going to be working on?
Over on Pine Street at McMillan Creek Park, between the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks, there is a boardwalk about 688 feet long. There's a variety of concrete paths through the parkway, but this boardwalk is sort of the main thing there. Running along the edge of the park near the creek. And over time, it's just kind of had some maintenance issues. It's fallen into a state where it wasn't necessarily safe to be on. Several sunken areas, several rotten spots. So we have taken this boardwalk, and that is our undertaking for the project is to go from what it is now to rebuild it into a walkable state.
Now, where does it go start and end?
So it's primarily straight. It starts over near Pine Street. If you're driving by, you can just see the end of it with a little stop sign on the end. And it mostly runs straight along the park, some little curves here and there, and then ends at the other side of the park.
Okay.
So it's not...
Where exactly is that?
So this is on Pine Street, next to the old Martha Ross Smith. There's a company that has placed some mobile home sales next there. So it's Mallard Park.
Oh, so this is Mallard Park, is what we're talking about here. The one that goes in a big circle.
Yes, sir.
All right, now I know what you're talking about there, Mallard Park. All right, go ahead there, Sam.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Nick.
Sometimes that can be my weakness, is remembering the park specifically. But it's a very popular location for a lot of walkers. In fact, oftentimes when we're out there, I'll see people walking. I've seen people go out to take photos, even go onto the boardwalk and step over it to go take photos on it. And there's just lots of people walking it, and it'd be very important for the community to have this installation where a lot of people are at be rebuilt. And oftentimes I'll see that online there was people talking about that specific park because it's on that major road that comes through, and a lot of people will stop, stretch their legs on trips as you stop through towns.
There's some tables out there, great place to, a lot of shade. It's very nice there.
So especially in the summertime. In the winter, all the trees were dead, but it's now just amazing looking at how different it is with all those green trees coming in, how much shade there is over everything.
Okay.
Sure.
So what are you going to do? When does it start?
We actually started this past weekend, this past Saturday. Went through all 688 feet of the boardwalk. We removed decking boards across the whole thing. I believe it came out to just about 1,500 decking boards.
Did you have to replace all the decking boards?
We've just removed them for the moment.
Just for the moment, okay.
That was quite an undertaking in itself. We did it with a crew of 9.
Wow.
And we all have the scars to show for it, although we did it safely. But, little things happen. But we went through and we got all those removed, and we came back that Sunday to just kind of do some material assessment for what was reusable, some site cleanup, and kind of assess what our next step is going to be going into this. Mm-hmm. And what we're looking at is this Saturday coming out again as well and removing our structural timbers that run between the posts that require removal, and if the opportunity presents, to start installing some new ones with those bolts.
Okay. You have a time period when you see this project completed?
So the requirement for my Eagle Scout is to have the project done, completed, the last dot put on the packet on July the 10th, the day before my 18th birthday.
And so the day before your 18th birthday, well, congratulations, about to turn 18 there, man. And so you get this done by July. So I guess Mallard Park is closed until it's completed, which will be right there at the beginning of July, right?
Sure. Well, the rest of the park is open, but the boardwalk specifically is closed off for the time being. And we're hoping to have it done coming into June, hopefully at the end of May, June 7th at the latest, that first Saturday in June. Should everything go to plan, but it leaves us that buffer if something goes wrong. We have rain delays. So it just leaves us a little bit of a gap to get everything done in.
Well, good. All right, that's a great project and much needed. We have the Mallard Park, we have the walkway through there, McMillan Creek, which is still closed, isn't it, Nick? Nick Ellison here, the city manager. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
But it's still closed, right?
Yes, sir.
After you build these things, and I remember when these opened up and they had the ribbon cutting and all that, and we were oohing and on and all that kind of stuff like that. Then we had storms come through. They kind of ripped up trees and the board and that kind of stuff. Then you can say, all right, now we got to maintain this thing. Yes, and it's great that you've taken this project. Sam, what made you decide to work on Mallard Park as your project to become an Eagle Scout?
So one of the biggest challenges Scouts face is identifying their service projects, and with several other things, you have to ask around to a lot of different entities, and the city is just one of the people that got back to me first with this project, because I initially inquired about the Harry Burns Heritage Trail walkway between 6th and 11th Streets, but we walked it, and it was just far too big of a project.
Too big of a project. That's what I was just talking to Nick about, yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much all the decking boards, it was almost 100% replacement. It didn't look worth our time and effort at the moment to work on that, and as well it was far outside the scope of what I could be looking at for an Eagle Scout project, because I also have many safety regulations on power tool use and saw use for youth that come from the BSA as a national organization.
Well, we wish you and your crew the very best on getting this done. I'm sure that Nick's giving you the services of the city there to make sure that it all gets done to city requirements and regulations, and we look forward to being able to walk on that again.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Ralph?
Just one thing. Sam, do you need any help financial or with people? If people come out there and help you, can you use that?
Yes, sir. Just keep... there's a variety of Facebook posts my mom has made looking for volunteers, and if you're interested...
Your mom, Sam?
My mom is Kelly Shanklin. She worked over at Rainier and did public relations. Many people are familiar with her, and it's great having that connection. But if you're interested in coming out to work and you happen to have a drill or impact that you can tag along with you, you're welcome to come out there and help. We're always looking for more work. If we have too many workers, it just means we'll get more done than we had planned to get done that day, and we'll need to start getting the next steps ready.
And what hours will we be working tomorrow?
From 9 to 7.
Okay.
So it's a full work day, lunch donated. Yes, sir.
This project's cost about $14,000. Could you use any money?
Yes, sir. If people have money they're willing to donate towards it, I'd be welcome to take that, because one of my biggest expenses was materials. I believe with the Murphy's quote I was receiving, with the tax-exempt purchase and the donation of the fasteners from Murphy's, we were looking about $12.6 thousand.
Okay.
And just materials. And all of our tools were brought from workers, were donated, so that's a zero cost to us. And just some of the supplies, some gloves, some glasses, some PPE stuff is one of our primary costs. And I budgeted for food costs as well, but it looks like a lot of that's getting donated from local businesses and businesses around the area, which I'm very grateful for.
Who was originally financed that project? Nick?
We originally talked with the commissioners about allocating some of their expenditures towards it. Each council member has about $10,000, and we've had several of them donate and give towards this project. Patrick Martin and David Bohannon, who are the Public Works directors, also have allocated a portion of their budget to do it. So we pretty much got it covered. But again, as we continue to work on this project, we know that things will come up. And as Sam has kept us engaged and involved with the information that he's provided, there's always things that we will not see in the initial assessment. So right now we have a total of about $14,000 set aside to put in this project, thanks to the mayor and the board of commissioners and our department heads, Patrick and David.
Right.
And they're also assisting Sam in making sure that we can work on this project and utilize some of our services with our corrections work crews during the week to kind of do some site prep and help along. And some of our department employees are working throughout, the week and also on the weekends to help with this project.
Okay. Well, keep us updated. We'd really like to know when it's getting ready to open up. Are you going to have like a grand opening, ribbon cutting type thing when you reopen it, or what?
Dr. Schumann, very much one-on-one. I'm hoping to get her a date and some possible dates for it, but it's still a little bit dependent on when we get it, because as they mentioned, we're opening up cans of worms as we get into everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way it is when you work on a project, when you're redoing something. There's always stuff there, Just ask the folks who redid Jesup Elementary. They kept finding stuff. But we wish you the best, but you keep us updated. We'd like to be there for the official ribbon cutting opening and have you back on the Butch and Bob show to talk about how the project ended and what's next for you. Okay, Sam?
Sir, thank you very much.
All right, what else is next, Mayor?
Well, it's got me and the Screven Mayor, Weaver. Come on up here, Weave. You ain't scared, are you?
Nick, take care. Nick Ellis, our city manager here in the city of Jesup. And Sam, we wish you the best. I know you're anxious to get to school, so go. I like your jacket there. It said Wayne County Track. What do you do with the track team? Let's go back to the mic.
I'm a distance runner. I compete at both the 1,600 meter for track, and I also sub in for our 4x8 relay team, and I'm also on the cross country team in spring semester.
Well, that's what I did, Wayne County High School.
I'm
not challenging him.
You're not challenging him?
No.
Yeah. That's what Bob and I did in high school. He ran a distance for Stone Mountain High School, and I ran from Wayne County High School. So great.
And these jackets were old. They came from Coach Broadhead. He gave them to some of the runners that had been around for a few years that he was familiar with. So these are from Broadhead's time, but they're still comfortable.
All right, let's get to the pair of mayors we got here. We got Mayor Ralph Hickox of Jesup and Mayor Jason Weaver of Screven. Bob, get them started.
Well, they're here to tell us about a challenge they have. And I'm glad to see it, Mayor Weaver, because when you didn't show up at 8 o'clock, Mayor Ralph Hickox was telling us that you were scared. And I knew that wasn't
the reality was I was finishing up with my trainer.
Oh, Ralph, he's got a trainer. He's taking this company. Tell us what y'all going to be competing in so people have a reference
here. This is how dedicated I am. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning because I knew I had to come on the show, and I already run my miles this morning and went to the gym, done that, and was still here on time.
Ralph, meet me at 4 every morning, and then you can talk that trash.
So what event is coming up that y'all going to be competing against each other?
Well, we both been on this weight loss challenge for about 2 years, right, Jason?
Yeah.
And I think
y'all are half the men you used to be.
We are. We're like one mayor now.
That's what my wife tells me daily.
You're half the man I'm married.
So we got down to basically, Bob, we both hit a wall. I kind of hit a wall. I wanted to lose by another 10 more pounds. So I signed up to run that 5K. I thought it'd give me a motivation.
Which 5K is this?
The one in Scriven.
Yeah, it's going to be when?
June 28th.
June 28th.
And it's a fundraiser for Boy and Girls Club, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't originally. But what happened was, I signed up, and when Jason found out, he started talking smack about it with me. So, me and him, you know how we are.
Yeah.
So we decided we might as well make a challenge out of this. And if we're going to do that, let's do something good for the community. So we decided to find a charity, which is the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And, I mean, what can you beat? We get lose 10 more pounds. We get a lot better health. We raise money for the Boys and Girls Club, and I get to beat Jason.
Yeah. He lives in la land over here, don't he?
Yeah, well, we're trying to get with Vegas to find out what the odds are on here. Which one of y'all will cross the line first?
Well, it's
good, but the smart money right now they're saying is bet that neither one of them passes the finish line. Is that where the smart money?
Well, if I was dealing with Vegas, you got to throw all the odds in. Number one, it's in my city.
Yes, it's true.
Number one, it's run by my people. The old time sports people didn't used to like to go play in Screven. They thought they got cheated. So you got to think about that. Are we still going to be cheated? Number three, it's going to be hard for Ralph to run with a piece of wood in his butt.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Now, explain what you just said.
I can't explain it, but that's all I know about it.
You don't have to explain.
Come on, you opened up that can of worms. You got to give us a reference here.
I mean, I paid good money to his commissioner to put a gavel in his rear end.
Well, I tell you what, I'll make a challenge to you, Jason. Whoever loses this gets to keep that commissioner for the last 6 months.
We are full. It's not election time for us.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, this is our two cities working together, and I hope my hopes is we can bring some of the other staff in. Chief Hamilton talked about maybe joining in with us and maybe challenging one there. Maybe our firefighters get involved, and it's a good opportunity for us to. We want to encourage people to support his event. Jason is a great mayor for Screven. He does a lot of things to bring good things to Screven, and I'm proud of what they do there. And the ability to support Screven is something I would like to see us do and work together like that. And like I said, it's just a bonus to get to beat him on top of that.
That's what it takes. It takes all of us working together. That's what we've tried. As long as I mean, Bob, we talk weekly, and it's real simple. And Ralph, we talk, and I talk with all of them, and it's just that just do right ain't just a slogan that we run on. If you'll just do right, I mean, a lot of this nonsense we got will go away. And working together, it shows them great unison of all of us being able to work together and try to move this county the way it needs to be moved. And it takes our bigger cities, our bigger municipalities and government bodies helping the smaller ones, as well as the smaller ones sometimes helping the bigger ones. Those days do come. And I greatly appreciate it. And like he's talking about the firefighters and all, what I'd like to see, I don't expect a 5K or something, but I'd like to see the firefighters, I think it'd be cool for the firefighters to come do some of it in full turnout gear. I mean, they do that.
Wow, that would be cool.
I mean, our firefighters, they walk daily in full turnout gear in Screven. My two do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that would be pretty cool. You
just mentioned working together, but a lot of people don't realize we really do that a lot. There's the equipment that we have that they don't have, and there's some equipment they have that we don't have. And there's been many times that our people went there and vice versa, right?
Yeah. We have ground penetrating radar, which is probably the only thing we really have that they don't have, and I'm sure they'll probably get one soon. But it's we can pinpoint where that water leak is under that highway or anywhere without them having to dig up a whole road.
That's great.
Usually what has to happen is Anthony has to put his ear to the ground, and that's a lot harder like that.
Listen for it, huh?
Yeah, he listened for it. He said, I think it's about right here.
But
Uh,
they probably have dogs trained to do that. So they have a lot better hearing than we do.
Yes, absolutely. Well, what we're hoping is we're going to figure some way to make it an actual challenge, but to get people to donate towards the Boys and Girls Club in the city of Jesper, Screven's name, and raise a bunch of money, because that is such a good thing. The Boys and Girls Club makes it, they take care of these kids. They make it where a lot of adults can work. It's just a great thing. I mean, me and Jason have both twice, at least, I think, done the
Mr. Wayne County.
Wayne County. That which is a benefit of, and if me and him are willing to get out there and make a fool out of us, because God knows we neither one got talent.
Right. I mean, you sure don't go expecting to win. But Leadership Wayne class yesterday had a good idea. I don't know, Ralph, they were talking about the loser needed to wear a shirt for like 4 meetings that let their city know that the other mayor was the best one there was, or the other city was the best.
But what constitutes losing? Because we both know I'm going to win the race. So is it raising money, or is it?
I think it needs to be a combined effort. I think it should be a combined effort.
I really feel bad about beating Jason and Screven, though. That's the only thing.
I feel bad about it, too, if I was you. Because remember, you got to get in your car and drive, unless you plan on running back to Jesup, you got to get in your car, and the police over there, they just happen to work for me.
He's got a point. I remember when I did a ball game over there one time, and to this day, Sean McGowan accuses me of cheating Screven because I delayed the game out because we was on the field that remember the one didn't have lights? Mm-hmm. We was on that field, and I realized I was winning, and it was getting close to dark, so I delayed the game out till we run out of time. Uh-huh. And he accused me of cheating, and you can't cheat Screven, for God's sake. I mean, everybody knows that.
Well, that's just because he didn't have the opportunity to do that first. See, that was that's in our bylaws.
And once again, the date on this run is?
June 28th.
June 28th.
8 o'clock, Grace Community Center. And it's also matched with a color run. So come on out, because it's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be, there's a 5K portion of it, and then there's a 1K color run.
Now you're going to do another color run.
Yeah, we're doing another color run.
What's that ingredients they throw on the color run?
It's like a powder. I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's pretty neat. I mean, everybody that did it last year enjoyed.
Yeah, you explained it last year.
Yeah, we had a good time with it. Yeah. So this time we're hoping to have.
So you have 2 different races: the color run and the regular one.
That's right.
What's the color run?
Well, you run this 1K, and there's stations set up along the way, and they throw these colored
like
powder
dust
packets on you, and you're like totally tie-dyed when it's done. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, you're like a 60s
Everybody had more
tie-dye
fun with that. The
through.
people that ran the 5K actually came back and did the color run, too, because they wanted to be a part of that. And
now, is that both the same day?
It is. It is.
They'll start the regular runs and the color run. The
45 minutes to an hour-ish apart.
All right.
And this is on a Saturday, so what is the rest of your events on that day? You know that yet?
Yeah. We'll as soon as the run's over, vendors will already be setting up because we moved back to the park this year, as we talked about the last time. Mm-hmm. And the whole day is full field. We got local talent.
All this leads up to the Screven 4th of July activities.
That's right.
Yeah, which will be on Saturday the
28th
of June.
Yep.
Okay.
We got local talent that'll start on the stage about 1 o'clock. Then we have at 5 o'clock we have Casey from Blackshear that's going to perform, and then at 7 o'clock CMT artist Matt Rogers will perform, and Matt just got nominated. This is since we were on the show. Matt just got nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year and Single of the Year. So that was huge right after we got him booked and all. So he's written a song called Camouflage that 100% of the donations go to the veterans, and that song has really skyrocketed through the charts. So it's a great.
We'll look forward to talking to you two more about this as the date gets closer.
They're going to put
for the race and the run, and for the 4th of July activities in Screven.
They're going to put some. Shelby and them at the Boys and Girls Club are setting up where they're going to put some like buckets around town, probably banks and stuff like that, for taking taking monies on who you think's going to win. Screven or Jesup. So look for those and look for that.
Go Team Jesup.
Go Team Jesup. Any other announcements we need to make this morning?
Yeah, it's Good Friday.
I'll be here next week most likely.
Okay.
We do have, Jesup does have a really big announcement coming up that we have going, but I'm not at liberty quite.
You're not at liberty yet.
No, but
I told you to check in to see if we're Liberty, but you're not Liberty yet.
I will say this, and this is not the item, is that if you've been by the old laydown yard that Railroad had, it is cleared off 100% now. It will be turned over to us next Friday. And we're going to be meeting with CSX and all our dignitaries like, Stephen Meeks and Representative Stephen Meeks and Deloach and I think Buddy's going to send somebody. All these people that helped us to get this deal done with CSX. CSX is going to be bringing in equipment for the photo op, and their big wheels are coming in. This has been something that Herb Shaw worked on for 20 years, and David Earl worked very hard on for his 6.5 years. we've all been trying to get this accomplished, and we finally pushed it over the finish line. You know, a lot was the footwork was done from when David was there, but you go there and look at it right now and see how it looks, and then we're going to take and put grass on it, trees on it, streetscape. It's going to be really nice. It's a huge thing for Jesup. That's not the big thing I'm talking about.
I know it's not.
But that just their Screven though. I mean, Jason, as they've built this thing, this 4th of July thing, it's not. I know they call it it's the Screven 4th of July celebration, but it's the whole county. I mean, everybody goes there.
Oh yeah, everybody goes there.
How many people do you have there, Jason?
5,000 at least.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Pair of mayors this morning. Ralph Hickox, Jesup, Jason Weaver, Screven. We look forward to more smackdown on this leading up to June 28th, right?
Go team Jesup.
All right.
Thank you, Butch.
All right. And the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO, brought to you by First Southern Bank, by Murphy Motor Supply, by Heron Aldridge Insurance, and the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales.